Welcome. This is for October 19th, and we're in 1 Samuel, chapter 16, verses 1 through 13, and this is where God calls David. You know, in her book called "Are You Alone Wise?" The search for certainty in the early modern era. The historian Susan Schreiner examines points of connection between the theological currents of the Reformation and early modern literature. Now, her study shows how both theology and the arts were occupied with a concern over self-deception, resulting from the disconnect between appearance and reality. And while Martin Luther and the other reformers, struggled to establish a firm ground for Christian faith, absent the authority of the Roman papacy, Shakespeare's Hamlet preaches that one may smile and be a villain. And in his Witches open Macbeth chanting that fair is fall and fall is fair. What I'm trying to say is that Schreiner's work serves to us as a reminder that we are not the first to be troubled by disinformation and fake news. And that the quest for certainty is a timeless one. And it manifests itself in every decade. Now, Samuel's ministry as a prophet is defined by uncertainty. Uncertainty about what God is doing. I mean, this story is a great reminder for us all of how Samuel received his own calling, being woken by the voice of God in the night and, confusing it with his mentor, Eli. Samuel was instrumental to the rise of Saul as king, who was himself a surprising choice, coming from the least notable tribe of Benjamin. But what Samuel faces now is the most unnerving thing of all. God rejecting Saul as king, when it was God who first chose him. What's more, Samuel had called Saul to repentance, and Saul repented, and yet God did not relent in regretting making Saul king. And now God calls Samuel out of his grief over Saul to anoint a new, unexpected king. Now, so many times we want to focus on the unexpectedness of God selecting David as king, setting this moment within the life and the ministry of Samuel more broadly directs us to the larger question of certainty about God's activity, which hangs over the reading and, of course, yours and my life as well. The uncertainty which surrounds Samuel's ministry will not lead to an easy answer. There's no version here of let go and let God to be found here. And I think this is because questions, doubts, worries, all these are part of what it means to be in the presence of God at work. When we become comfortable with our own uncertainty, we can receive the comfort that is not our certainty, which saves us. Our certainty does not nullify the certainty with which God has named us and claimed us as our own. Allowing our doubts to become impediments to our life with God is an overestimation of our ability to define who God is for us. I guess in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is embrace uncertainty when it comes, trusting that God has already overcome it, and so much more in Jesus Christ. Blessings on your week. What you do matters, and I'm so grateful for your partnership in the gospel.